everyone. My name is Ryan Stahl, and today I want to talk to you about athlete mental health worldwide. Now, what is athlete mental health? This refers to the emotional and psychological state of the athletes, which include things like different stressors, anxiety, depression, burnout, injuries, mental health issues, things that affect the athletes day to day, week to week, maybe even minute to minute. And it can definitely alter their quality of life. Now, why I believe this mental health problem is a global issue is because every country has athletes. Every single country has athletes, and I mean they have them competing in normal tournaments in their area, but also things like the Olympics, where we can see the best athletes in the world. And these countries, especially in the Olympics, put an astounding amount of pressure on the athletes to actually perform and do well. And that can alter their mental health and cause them to have problems with their mental health and feel down. And another thing that makes this a global issue is the cultural stigma around mental health of people not thinking it's something important, why it isn't really a problem. Maybe it's lame to talk about, uncool, many different derogatory things that people say about mental health, but I believe it is a serious issue that we need to focus on with every athlete and everyone worldwide. Now, I want to talk about some causes of poor mental health first. Specifically in athletes, we have performance pressure. I mean, you obviously are an athlete because you like to compete, you like to win, you want to win. So, not doing well really messes with you mentally. I know personally, not doing well messes with me. Another thing is social media criticism, which is more prevalent now than it ever has been before. We have random people online just tearing down athletes when maybe they have a bad performance or they lose a game or a race. And that causes so many extra issues to the athletes that I feel like most athletes have to get rid of their social media because they can't simply enjoy it. Another thing that causes poor mental health in athletes is injuries and the recovery time. Injuries are one of the biggest things to poor mental health, as the athlete's whole self-image is based off them being an athlete. That's who they are. They like to compete, they like to exercise. It's what they do. And an injury can really put them back and not allow them to be themselves. And the recovery times with something, say, an ACL injury. I mean, an ACL injury, we have upwards of a month and a half of just doing recovery rehab before we can get the actual surgery. And then after an ACL surgery, we have anywhere from 7 to 12 months of recovery time just to get the athlete back close to where they were beforehand. Sometimes they can't even return to what they were beforehand, and it causes many athletes to retire. Another cause of poor mental health is the balancing life and sport. Specifically with the professional athletes worldwide, this is their job. This is what they do, and they are held to a way higher standard, causing them to have to train all the time. I mean, we have athletes that wake up in the morning, they train, they eat their breakfast, they go back to training. Maybe they get a little recovery session in and another meal, and they're back to training. Some athletes train 5 times a day, and that can really cause problems to the athlete's mental health. A real life example I want to give you to really help understand is Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is a 28-time Olympic gold medal winner, 28-time Olympic medal winner with 23 gold medals, 3 silvers, and 2 bronze medals. Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian of all time with the most medals. Now, Michael Phelps is very open with his mental health struggles and what the sport did to him, how he struggled with depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts, which I'm sure most of us have dealt with this and will deal with this. And it's really a terrible thing to deal with, and it can be scary to deal with when you have no outlets. Now, I put on here the Michael Phelps Foundation. Maybe if someone needs help and they're watching this, as a way to give you a different view on someone else's perspective on how they've gone through their mental health with sports and different things like that. And it's an outlet for him to help raise money for his cause to help with the mental health. The overall effects on athletes with poor mental health is we obviously have a decreased performance because there is just so much going on mentally that they can't even focus on what they're doing. We have a burnout, which occurs when this goes on for an extended period of time, causing the athletes to just mentally shut down. I've been there before with school and many other things where you just get burnt out and it's like you can't mentally do anything anymore. You can't process anything, you can't think, you just want to stop. Anxiety and depression. I mean, performance anxiety, they obviously get worried beforehand. This can cause different reactions to their nervous system, causing their heart rate to increase, maybe their breathing, which is a problem. If we get it too high, we can cause panic attacks from that. And depression really puts you in a bad state of mind constantly and can give you no positive outlooks and can cause serious issues if the athlete enacts on their depression. Another effect of this is early retirement, as talked about with the ACL injury, but it gets to a certain point for some athletes where they can't physically do it anymore, but they also can't mentally do it anymore, causing them to just have to retire because they feel like they can't go on with the sport anymore, in which it was a sport that they love. Now, I am at Lock Haven for the MSAT athletic training program, and I think an athletic trainer can be really beneficial for athletes' mental health worldwide. We can help them with the physical health there, but adding athletic trainers to more training scenarios, they can be there to recognize warning signs in athletes. They can really support the athletes emotionally. They can give them someone to talk to, an outlet, someone to relate to. They can promote a healthy training balance. I mean, if we see an athlete getting overworked where they can't take it anymore, we can have them take a step back and relax. And if it gets to a certain point or the athlete wants it, we can help refer them to professionals, maybe a team therapist. We can have them talks with their coaches. We could have them go to different appointments to maybe help get this fixed. Because I believe personally, everyone should go to therapy as it's a way, it's a good out, it's a great outlet to have, and it can make you a better person overall. Some possible other solutions to helping athletic mental health is to increase the awareness worldwide. We all have to realize that this does happen and it happens frequently, and we have to be accepting of that. We also have to normalize mental health discussions, asking your athletes if they're okay, checking in on your friends, making sure everything's okay, and we want honest, good conversations. And we could provide more access to help worldwide with more therapy, things like online therapy sessions. I mean, we have student discounts to therapy to different therapy clinics to be able to better ourselves. And this could really be beneficial to athletes that don't have it, especially worldwide, the online one. Maybe different countries can't get the access to therapists, and this could help them. Now, why this matters? I believe this matters because athletes are people before they're athletes. That is a person living their life trying to make it through daily, and that's something we have to remember. Another thing that helps is better mental health will affect their performance and affect their overall health. Dropping cortisol levels, increasing performance, which ties into the better performance here. Better performance will obviously make the athlete get into a better state of mind as well. Thank you for your time. I hope you all have a wonderful day.